All right. Okay. Hello, everybody. Welcome. Thank you for joining us today for our third Features Focus, a live Q&A for the dramatic feature film Monkey Beach, directed by Loretta Todd, which is available on demand until Saturday, October 24th. So if you haven't checked it out, check it out. Thank you to our presenting partner, Crave, and our screening partner, Indigenous Education and Engagement at Humber College. My name is Darlene Naponse. I am one of the guest programmers for ION Festival 2020 Programming Committee. I'm honored to be here today. Joining us is director Loretta Todd and actors Grace Dove, Joel Ouelette, Sera-Lys McArthur, Tina Lameman, and Stefany Mathias. And welcome everybody and congratulations. Like how fun that you must have had, creating this film.
Yeah, totally. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Well, they had fun.
Yeah, I bet you did. There's so much love and light in this film. Let's start with a round of introductions, and maybe Grace, if you want to start with us. Yeah.
Hi, good morning, good afternoon. My name's Grace Dove. I'm from Seskin, Canham Lake in the unceded territory of Secwepemcúlecw, and I'm really grateful to be here.
Ani. Joel.
Hi, my name is Joel Ouelette, and Medicine Hat, Alberta. Thank you for having me.
Excellent. Sera-Lys.
I'm Sera-Lys McArthur. My Nakota name is Wambani-Oyatewi, which means Eagle Nation woman. I am from the Pheasant Rump Nakota First Nation in Saskatchewan, which is Treaty 4 territory.
Excellent. Tina Lameman.
Hi, my name is Tina Lameman. I'm from the Beaver Lake Cree Nation, Alberta. I'm a Salegan. Yeah, I'm from the Treaty 6 territory.
And Stefany Mathias.
Hi, I'm Stefany Mathias. I'm from the Squamish Nation in North Vancouver, and my mother is Okanagan. And at the moment, I'm living in Vernon, which is Okanagan territory, my mother's territory. So I'm grateful and excited to be here. It's so great to see all these beautiful faces. I love it.
It is. And Loretta.
Hi, Loretta Sarah Todd. My family is originally from the St. Paul de Métis and also Whitefish Lake First Nations, was also one of the original Métis families from Red River, and also the Chippewa in Turtle Mountain in the Dakotas. And I wanted to use my time as I introduce myself to also give my love to these amazing actors. Really, they gave their heart and soul in making Monkey Beach. It was like whirlwind. Like we got the funding, it's like, gotta go. And it was, they just never missed a beat. They just really dedicated themselves to making this film. And I just have love for them forever, because without them, that love and light that you talk about wouldn't be there. They brought that for sure. So my heart goes out to all of them. I also got to do a big shout out to Eden Robinson. I mean, oh my God, her writing, her genius. I mean, her genius is just so inspirational. No matter what she writes, even an email, there's something that's inspirational in everything that she does and everything that she says. And of course, her laugh, we're all kind of motivated by that laugh that heals the soul so deeply. So, Eden trusted me for so many years, and I owe her so much. And also the Haisla Nation and the people Kitimat, they just welcome us into their territory and into their homes. And that made such a difference. That was always critical for me to make the film in Kitimat, and I'm so glad that they were so welcoming to us. So big shout out to them and to all the funders and all the people behind the scenes, all the crew, the amazing crew. I'm going to talk specifically about that a little bit later if there's a chance. Of course, Sterling Bancroft, who was such a big part of this. And also Carla Robinson, because Carla Robinson, Eden's sister, was also, the heart of helping us, be in the community. And, her devotion to her sister and her sister's devotion to her is very inspirational to see such a strong family bond. So that's kind of quickly what I wanted to say. You know, I think I'm supposed to say, you know, I have to also kind of give a little bit of a shout out to Telefilm, because, you know, and the funders, you know, the broadcasters like Crave and APTN and CBC, because they, you know, they stuck by me. And, you know, APTN was the first one in. So, you know, and then also Crave has been there, very, very dedicated, as well as CBC. And the people at Telefilm never gave up on this project. So that's my little commercial to them. And now we can go on.
Yes, it's all important. This has been a long journey for you. And that's, and so it's a great celebration to see all of the success and all the festivals that it's going to, and to see where you're going to go next. We're going to come back to you, Loretta, but I thought we have such an amazing spectrum, I'm going to say, of actors here. I thought maybe we could start with Grace and just about, like, you know, getting this role, like, and how it came to you, and how you prepared for it.
Yeah, well, you know, I've known Loretta for many years now, and I've worked on her show Coyote Science. You know, I've looked up to Loretta, and when she approached me about Monkey Beach, I mean, there wasn't any time to even think about it. I was like, yes, I'm in, let's do this. It's truly just such a huge opportunity for me, and I'm so grateful. It's really changed my life. You know, when I approach my work, every role is a little different. You know, it depends on where I'm at, physically, emotionally, spiritually, whether I need to soften up for the role or whether I need to harden up for the role. So I kind of, you know, start there. Where am I at, and where do I need to go in order to create this character? But one thing also, I'd say, one thing I've learned, you know, I've been doing this for 10 years now, and I'm at the point where I just try to stay ready all the time, you know, not be waiting for that role, be like, you know what, it could happen tomorrow. Monkey Beach, for example, my movie, How It Ends, all those, you know, I was going to filming, going to picture within a month. So if you're not already ready and you have to go and lose 15 pounds, which I've done before, it's not easy. And so just trying to always be in that place where I'm camera ready. And then at that point, then it's just going deeper and deeper. And especially for Indigenous roles, it's really tapping into the essence of the people. So for me, representing the Haisla people was so important, and doing that in a good way. And so, you know, beginning that research and getting as specific as I possibly could when it came to playing Lisa Marie.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, so I was just gonna say, Lisa's like the center of this film, and her journey from her own self-destruction to coming back into the community and being grounded, and then again being prepared for that next journey of that loss and everything that's happening that to her. So like, what when you were thinking about like Lisa, like, was there certain things that you were honoring or kind of like connecting with when you were preparing for the role?
Yeah, I think that it's a character that a lot of young people can really relate to, because I saw her a lot of layers of darkness, but also a lot of layers of light. And I think that we all have that, right? I know I have that, whether I'm taking care of my spirit properly or whether I'm going through hard times, whether I'm disconnected from the land or my spirit, then that's when, you know, that darkness can come. But also knowing that the lightness is on the other side there. So how do I find that? So for Lisa, you know, it was going home, it was facing those challenges, and it was knowing that she is stronger than her weaknesses. And, you know, I really understand that. So for me, it didn't feel like such a stretch. It didn't feel like other characters where I have to really work to get there. It was more like I had to really find the courage to take those layers off myself, take my armor off, and really search inward, which is very scary. But that's why I do this work. And out of that, I think that Lisa really helped me heal and face some of those layers within myself. So
that's beautiful. Had you read the book before
I had.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's such a great, it's an amazing book, of course, like, Eden, we all love Eden's work and her, yes, her laughter. But what always brings it back, Liz, is like she creates this wonderful environment, this and wonderful characters that are so full of life. And then so, interacting with Mama O, you know what I mean? And having those moments. Can you tell us maybe, you know what I mean, something that was really powerful or something that happened that you were just amazed with when you were shooting?
Well, looking at all these faces, I think what's beautiful is the fact that we are all capable of going into this new setting, to this new world, and act like and connect with each other truly as though we've been family as long as we've been on this earth. And I think we did such a beautiful job at that. And I remember every day, like just landing and being able to truly see these actors and these people that I'm working with, and everyone to be so vulnerable. So I really admire that. I think that we did an amazing job as a family and as a cast, taking care of each other and challenging each other. And the other big thing that I've been sharing a lot is how important it was that we did film up in the Haisla territory, because truly, like, there was just moments where I know we couldn't have had that magic if we had been in Vancouver or anywhere else. Specifically out on the water, I remember a day where a whale came right up to the picture boat, and it felt like it was for me. Like I got so emotional. I'd never seen anything like that. My eyes started tearing up and my heartbeat just like went so fast. And I remember just thinking, wow, this is a sign that for me, I'm on the right path, and that, as hard as things have been and as hard as things probably still will be, this is at least one moment of clarity and a moment of I don't know, just reassurance and love. And that was because we were there, and because we made sure, Loretta made sure that we filmed this movie where it was created.
Nice. Yeah, it's beautiful. Yes, the landscape and just like that water, because you can hear the water when you're reading the book. And then, so yeah, Loretta really captured that, just being able to just see that and know that connection to the people. Joel, your role was Jimmy.
Yes.
Yeah. Maybe if you want to share some of your experiences and how you prepared for the to play Jimmy.
Yeah, for sure. Well, I was still in high school at the time, doing that. But yeah, I got casted for it in high school, and I was just, kind of blown away. Every kid's dream is to be like on a movie or some sort of, or like a movie or on that sort of scale. But yeah, it was super fun, and I made sure to read the book after, and just reading the book and then trying to form your character around this novel. It was amazing, and just being on set, I was so, I was really nervous, and yeah, but they were so welcoming, and it was amazing. What Grace was saying, it was amazing doing it in Kitimat, Haisla Nation, and being a part of that atmosphere. That definitely played a part. But yeah, for Jimmy, I definitely try to dive into that loss. He was a swimmer, and he got torn up. So I definitely try to dive into that and try to form that all that hurt and all that passion that's gone into Karaoke's character, Takayla Blaney, who's awesome. So yeah, it was almost a sort of fluentness to it, because I was a kid like him, so that it helped me a lot.
Yeah, no, it's amazing, and congratulations on all of your success with Trickster.
Thank you. Thank you.
We only have a short time, so I'm trying to get to everybody. I'm gonna kind of ask the same question about like their role and how they prepped, and if there was any kind of story that you want to share. So Sera-Lys?
Sure. I had been aware of this project for about a decade, because I met Loretta when one of the earlier incarnations were attempting to come to light. And so that's when I first read the novel. And it's something that really stuck with me. So I'm glad that Loretta stuck with the story, because, you know, when it finally came around, I had always thought like I would, you know, if I didn't get to play Lisa, I would probably want to play Tabitha. And so when the auditions came up, I was really eager to like, oh yeah, I want to like audition for Tabitha. And I think because I'd connected to the character like so long ago, it was pretty easy for me. Like, not like it's simple, but like it came easily for me emotionally because I understood where the character was coming from, which is weird to say about a dead person, but but you know, like, yeah. And so again, like I'll echo Grace's sentiment about being able to connect with, especially with Grace, because that's who I was talking to the most, but being affected by watching my other family members and really feeling like I was grounded to them, connected to them as a family, and grounded in the place that we were in, was so beautiful. And I'd say maybe some challenges were like just the length of the scene and having to keep the emotion generated, which I'm sure other people can attest to in their own experiences as well. But I think in that way, it was it's weird because in Canadian film, you really have to go, but we gave it enough time that we got what we needed. And I was very happy with the way that all the scenes I was in went. And then I was even more excited to get to watch the film finally here in Vancouver for the premiere. So that was really exciting for me.
That's great. Thanks for sharing that. Tina, do you want to share anything with us?
Sure. I knew about the book probably since 2001. I had the book from U of A when I was going to school there. So I had the book a very long time. And when I got cast as Mama, it was like, with me, because I had it for so long and I never thought I'd play Mama one day, which was really cool because it was almost like a full circle thing, because then I was a Mama when I started filming. So it was almost like the younger cast became my grandkids automatically, because it was like, oh, they're so little and young, and you know, you just, because you're a grandparent, you just want to do that anyway, right? Okay, kids, I'm claiming you, right? And it was a lot of fun. It was a great experience. I saw my first whale.
Oh, beautiful.
And yeah, that blew me away. It was, you know, I'm from the prairie and the bush, right? It's like, you're not gonna see whales. I'm actually a half hour away from Loretta's family's residence. So I'm way out in the bush. I saw a whale. Yes, I got sick on the boat because we don't have an ocean where I live. But that was amazing, you know, to realize the actual animals, like not something on Animal Planet, right? And the power, it just reinforced the power of that place. And the eagles, just every day seeing eagles, which are sacred, I think, to all of us. It just gave this sense of calm and that, yes, this is going to be a great production. I mean, it was almost like the ancestors were there helping us, which, I mean, you can't ask for more than that. And obviously, they were helping us. This film, it's a success. Like, it just took off. And I'm very grateful that I'm a part of it. I'm happy with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you brought so much love into it. It was, yeah, you could really see there was a lot of love, like I said, love and light in it, and but also, you know, there's something about a shine that I'm getting. So it was beautiful, really. Yeah, this is really great. Stefany, how yeah, do you want to share with us your role and any kind of moments or any kind of like how you were preparing for this role?
Sure. Well, I too had been aware of this script for a long time. I've known Loretta for probably longer than we care to admit. I think when she started this, I was at an age where I could play Lisa. So she has been she's been like keeping me in mind for this project in some capacity or other for a very, very long time. And yeah, I also read the book way back when I first heard that Loretta was going to make this. And obviously was extremely excited, had no idea how long we would have to wait for it, which I suppose, you know, shouldn't be a surprise. It was a long road for Indigenous creators to get here. So those of us who I've been doing this for, I'm going to age myself, but for, you know, the better part of 20 years. And I started in theater and made the move to film and TV really quickly. And so I was ready for it to happen when I first heard about it, and then forgot about it. And then I got a call from my manager in LA. Somehow, I guess we were using a casting director down there for Monkey Beach. And yeah, they were like, Loretta or the director, they just said the director. I didn't know what the project was or anything yet. And they said, the director has requested you. And as an actor, when that happens, you're just like, you guys. So I was so excited. And then I came to find out, of course, that it was Monkey Beach and Loretta. And honestly, I was just truly just touched and filled with so much pride and joy that Loretta had kept me in mind for this long, and that she had stuck with it until it was going to get made.
Yes.
This woman was a warrior and a pioneer for all Indigenous filmmakers, and especially female Indigenous filmmakers, which I've done some shorts and now I'm moving into features, and I absolutely 100% just hold my hands up to Loretta and Marie Clements and all of the female Indigenous filmmakers who really just stuck to it and never ever gave up, no matter how many obstacles were faced over the course of the last 20 years, trying to get this kind of work out there where Indigenous people are the forefront, they're the center of the stories are Indigenous, the locations are Indigenous. I think it's just, you know, it's extraordinary that it was such a long journey, but the fact that it was, and Loretta soldiered through it all until it came into fruition. And in spite of roadblocks right up until the end, she managed to pull together this amazing piece of art that is really resonating with people. For me, who's been in this industry for as long as I have, it's just, it's really emotional for me, actually, because, you know, we've all been fighting this battle together, and to finally feel like we've broken through. Obviously, there will be challenges in the future. Obviously, just as filmmakers, there are always challenges and storytellers, but this feels like we've finally leveled up into a new place with this project, with Trickster. And so for whatever reason, you know, Eden's work is just resonating with not just Indigenous people, but people of all cultures. And it's giving us the opportunity to share and express our Indigenous voices. And I just feel tremendously grateful and honored to be a part of it in this way. And I'm talking and talking, so I'm gonna.
I know. Let's hear from Loretta. No, this is beautiful, but that power, yes,
Yeah.
thank you. And so Loretta, let's like we have 5 minutes left, so let's get to Loretta. Okay, so you know, we talked about like everybody understands that this was a long time coming. You wanted to make this film for so long, and like what drew you initially to this story and to Monkey Beach?
I've told this before in the press that's been leading up to this, but so I'll tell just the quick part of it and then go into is the fact that someone actually said to me, you should option Eden's book because her writing is like your filmmaking. And I sort of like, well, what do you mean? And that sort of elliptical, lyrical, kind of non-linear, you know, non-Western, if you like, kind of filmmaking. And I guess, you know, again, Eden, I mean, Eden's writing is very much her, you know, and very much weighted in Indigenous storytelling. So quickly, you know, I knew about the book. I wanted to read the book, but of course you're always so busy. So I quickly went out and got the book, and then I fell in love with the storytelling. I mean, it was like my filmmaking or filmmaking that I envisioned myself being able to make. And then also the fact that the characters, I mean, Lisa just is the heart and soul of so many Indigenous women. I mean, and I've been saying this too, this idea of medicine, this idea that Indigenous women hold so much medicine within us and we don't always embrace it and give it the light and the love that it, you know, we are meant to do. And so it was just so amazing to see the characters and how the family, even as the family is fracturing, there's still this sort of like love. The family is so critical and so important, and it's like Lisa's always trying to kind of restore the family, and you know, maybe in some strange way that maybe that's my own personal journey as well. But it was just all of those elements, you know, the sort of cinematicness of the place, the cinematicness of the events, and I just love the idea of you could be in one page and you could shift between place and time on that one page, and that excites me so much because there's that kind of you don't feel like someone's kind of leading you along and saying this is how you have to think, this is how you have to feel. And I think that's at the heart of Indigenous film storytelling, is that, you know, the listener, the person who's hearing the story is understood as being a sovereign being, and that being is then going to take that story in and make sense of it in their own way. And I felt that was something that I find so respectful in Indigenous storytelling, and Eden really sort of encompasses that and embodies that. And it's a challenge because, of course, when you go to get funding, they go, well, you know, you need your plot points and you need this and you know, and it's sort of like, well, but Indigenous, you just let the wave of the story wash over you, and you know, the viewer has much more responsibility for how they accept that love and light into them, and how they find their place in that. So it's been a challenge, and I think that's been part of the challenge of why it's taken so long. Because I wanted to stay true to that integrity of Indigenous storytelling. But yeah, those are, you know, some of the things that really drew me to the story. And I was, you know, the fact that Eden even said yes was amazing. And when I bought the book and the acknowledgement, there's an acknowledgement, and she acknowledges me. We never met, but she acknowledged me, and apparently she had watched one of my films, Forgotten Warriors, about Native War veterans, which she used to help, you know, for research for one of her characters, but also, I guess, just as someone who had some kind of, you know, inspirational kind of, you know, thing, you know, helped her, you know, to sort of feel some inspiration for, you know, for the work that I was doing. So that sort of made like, oh, this is fate. We've never met, yet that's my name in this book. So I guess there was these kind of, you know, things that were meant to happen. And yeah, and that's,
I know we're gonna have to wrap up. This is so good.
Part of the story, anyways.
God,
We're make this a podcast.
I know, we're just getting started. I just want to hear so much more. So if you can just like quickly, just like what's next for all of you, just quickly, like and then I'm gonna extra everything. So, well, Joel, Trickster.
Sure, yeah. Tricksters is coming out. I think episode 3 is on right now, so make sure to go check that out. Abducted is coming out too. It's a movie, but yeah, it's just amazing to see, you know, this Indigenous rise, you know, finally happening, and it's so well deserved. You know, I'm sure all of us have went through so much, and just seeing people's views change, and just more of a respect, and not just painting just Indigenous just with one stroke is just so awesome to see, and I'm just so happy to be here.
Sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry. Sorry.
Okay, so I'm gonna have to let you go. Please, everybody, go check out what everybody's doing. It's an amazing work, and hopefully we get to hear from more. Thank you, everybody, for joining us today. Join our artistic director Nikki Little for the next Feature Focus Live Q&A for MENA starting at 3 p.m. Eastern on this platform. And join me again tomorrow for the Q&A for the Legend of Barontoa, Friday, October 23rd at 2 p.m. And be sure to go to the website each day for the festival schedule and all the good things we have planned. And on that note, again, thank you for joining us.
I just want to thank you, Darlene. I want to thank you for all your amazing work as a filmmaker and for being a warrior woman as well. And all these beautiful warrior women here with us today and in the film, and the warrior woman of Kitimat, and all the warrior women who make this film. The strong men, strong Indigenous men who were there and gave their heart and soul and supported these strong female characters, and just gave their amazing. I just you guys know all the actors. I can name them all now, but every one of them did exceptional work, and I'm so proud and so humbled. So thank you, and yeah, I hope you get the chance, everyone gets a chance to see Monkey Beach, and also I have to give a shout out to the people who were watching it, the people who've been going, and their love has just been overwhelming, and so thank you for that, and again to all the people behind the scene too. Hi.
Respect.
Hi.